Is that one of the main features of this material?
I would certainly say so.
Interrupt our regular scheduled program for a special report from My Verona TV.
Welcome to a special live report of My Verona TV. We here at My Verona have just been informed of a tragedy and a possible conspiracy which has just taken place in our fair city, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Of two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers have just taken their lives. Their death buries their parent strife and is now the traffic of our stage. What here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Earlier this week, My Verona featured a story on the Capulets pool party. It is here where Romeo and Juliet Capulet, the pair who have committed suicide, are said to have met.
Evening for your pool party, Lady Capulet. What would you say? Has the weather been fine?
Wonderful turnout, my dear. Yes, indeed. It's been most pleasant, hasn't it, dear?
How of you, ladies? Void of corns, into the hot tub with ye.
Because Romeo, a Montague, attended the Capulets pool party, a fight took place the next day between Romeo, his man Mercutio, and Tybalt, Juliet's cousin. Verona's coroner gave us the reports on Tybalt's and Mercutio's death.
The subject, Mercutio, was stabbed once in the kidney, and then he bled to death and became delirious from loss of blood. And then the other subject was Tybalt Capulet, and he was stabbed in the ventral area, which punctured his pancreas, and then he died from loss of blood also.
Romeo was banished because he murdered Tybalt and was unable to see his bride, Juliet. Bride, you say? Yes. We have here Juliet's nurse, who is more than willing to share all she knows. Nurse?
Well, Vi, it is in fact true. The very day of Tybalt's untimely death, Romeo took Juliet for his wife. I did try to talk to Juliet out of this scandalous marriage, but she was unaware of my subtleties, and everything written about the story states I encouraged her. Imagine, I knew about Romeo's former lover's pregnancy, and I have heard that he ran around with many women. Besides, I was completely for Paris and Juliet's lord. He is very nice looking. Have you seen him? Anyway, Lord Capulet had his own reasons for setting up the marriage between Juliet and Paris. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, but I do. Lady Capulet had a thing for younger men. I saw her several times running around with young Paris, and once with Romeo. And I know Romeo was attracted to other older women. You should have seen the way he looked at me. Well, everything would have been fine if not for Juliet taking things into her own hands. That friar, what do I think of him? Well, he married the couple without the parents' consent, and then he proceeded to help Juliet fake her death. He is obviously a very unholy man. How did he know how to get the appropriate drugs for her anyway? He says he made them, but are we really expected to believe that?
That is a very good question. Mitzi?
Mitzi Bambino here on location in front of this old drug shed where Romeo and perhaps the friar bought this poison that caused this whole scandal. I cannot get in closer due to police blocking off the area. How did Romeo know to come here for his deadly drink? Was it his friends or was it the friar himself? We need to find out from someone who knew Romeo like the back of their hand. Someone like Rosalind.
Welcome to the show, Rosalind. Could you tell us whether or not Romeo was using?
Well, all I'd like to say is that I'm innocent in this whole thing.
You're not being investigated. Oh. So was Romeo using?
Well, all I know is that Mercutio is mighty friendly with Verona's dealer. And we all know about peer pressure.
Right. Well, who do you think is guilty in this whole situation?
It's all Juliet's fault. I know she plays a mighty good virgin, but I hear things.
Things?
Enough about her. Oh, look at me, I'm 6 months pregnant, and no father. And not because he's dead, because he ditched me.
Oh. So Romeo is definitely the father of your child?
Yeah, definitely. Or Paris or Tybalt. But they're all dead anyway.
Fascinating. I wonder if your affair with Tybalt had anything to do with why Mercutio, Romeo's man, was fighting in the square with him earlier that week, after all. How would we find this out? We have to ask Mercutio. And how do we do that, you ask? Let's talk with Sonora Trelawney, My Verona's personal psychic channeler. We have been able to get Sonora Trelawney here with us in the studio now. Welcome, Sonora.
I'm very glad to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing my experiences with the deceased.
We asked you to talk with Mercutio. Have you been able to channel his vibe?
We spoke this morning. He was very frustrated with the whole Romeo and Juliet situation. Right. He kept repeating these 6 words. A plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses.
Oh, what does it reflect?
Mercutio was hurt under Romeo's arm. He knew that only evil would come out of this.
Well, did you predict their deaths?
After we communicated, I used my cards. I pulled a 3, a 5, and an 8.
What does this reflect?
Death.
Thank you so much for sharing. You have a gift from the spirits. So Mercutio believes that it is the family's fault. What did the Capulets think? Mitzi?
And Mercutio fell dead, and Tybalt fled. By and by comes Romeo with newfound revenge, and before people could draw them apart, stout Tybalt fell dead, and Romeo flew. Here at the Capulets' house, where I've been told they are mourning the loss of their daughter and nephew, Tybalt, the very murderer and victim of which we spoke. Wait, the door opens. They appear. Capulet, lady of Capulet, how does it feel to be hounded by the press day and night? How do you feel by the accusations that by forcing your daughter to marry, you murdered her? How does it feel? How do you feel?
No comment. Go away.
That was disgraceful. What would Juliet think? Back to the desk.
I am back with the nurse who was shocked at that horrible display of morale. Nurse, how do you feel?
I'm shocked, but not surprised. If the Capulets start talking, everything will come out. The truth about Lord Capulet's drunk and abusive behavior could be revealed. Oh, I have said too much.
Well, if that's all you wish to say...
Perhaps I shall share more, but just a little. Lady Capulet was not Juliet's mother. I am.
You mean you feel like she's your daughter because you practically raised her?
Yes, of course. Lady Capulet was a very neglecting mother.
Well, I wonder how the Montagues are doing. Mitzi is live at their home.
Here at the Montagues' personal clinic. We are here because we have heard that would be a press release from their lawyer. People at My Verona have come early because we do not believe in waiting for the other press. Wait, I think I see her coming. Miss Brockovich, wait. Is it true that Romeo was... The Montagues are ashamed of Romeo's relationship with Juliet? I'll give you a statement if you leave. Fine, getting this?
The Montagues are very sorry for the loss of Capulet's daughter and are in great mourning for their son. They are aware of how surreal the situation is and will do everything they can to calm their relationship with the Capulets. We ask for the press's and citizens' respect in this horrible time. The two families have come together and offer each other their hands in love. Thank you and goodbye.
Well, thank you too. And back to the desk.
It is at this time where we turn to the streets of Verona to find out what really happened from the citizens themselves.
This is Mike Harris's fault. It's just that. It's just Mike Harris. But if you ask me, it's those teenagers because sure as eggs are going to blame the parents who weren't listening to them and all this stuff, but too busy on drugs to listen to what you say anyway, so forget it.
I didn't see anything. Nothing happened. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Who told her to tell the truth? I didn't tell the truth. Well, what are we going to do? I don't know. Who hired her anyway? I don't know. Jeez, I hope she's not getting paid.
Guys, we're on.
Never was a story of more deceit than we'll ever know than that of Juliet and her Romeo. This is Vi.
And Mitzi signing off of My Verona. Remember, the news gives you the facts.
And we give you what you want to hear. Bye-bye now.
All I know is that Mercutio was mighty friendly with the deal.
So here waiting for a statement from their lawyer. I'm here and want to use... Okay, good. My question is how did Romeo know here to get his daily drink? Was it his friends, or maybe it was the friar himself?
To talk Juliet out of this scandalous marriage. But she was unaware of my son's the very day of Tybalt's untimely death. Romeo took Juliet for his wife. I did try to talk to Juliet out of this scandal.
Romeo was banished because he married Tybalt and was unable to see his bride, Juliet. Romeo was banished because he murdered Tybalt and was unable to see his bride, Juliet. Bride, you say? Yes. That's all I know. Okay, turn it off. Romeo was banished because he was unable to marry. He was unable to marry. Romeo was banished because he was unable to... Romeo was banished because he was Romeo was banished because he murdered... Shocked at that horrible display of morale. Nurse, how do you feel? I am back with the nurse who is shocked at that horrible display of your... I am back with the nurse who is shocked at that horrible display of morale. Nurse, how do you feel? I am shocked. I am here back with the nurse who is shocked at that horrible display of... I am back with the nurse who is shocked at that horrible display of appeal. Horrible display of appeal.
So you better do that one again because it's Lady Capulet, dear.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming.